Well, when the season's fixtures were announced, the smart money would have been on Dortmund coming into this match against Frankfurt. But the Eagles have upset the form book this term, and it's they who have maximum points after 4 matches, whilst Dortmund fell to their first defeat in 21 matches at the weekend. Well, Dortmund got off really well at the start. Lukas Piszczek getting around his man before the shot came in. Kevin Trapp needed to deny Maurice Leitner, who got the start tonight. Well, Dortmund ironically lost their chance to break Hamburg's 36-game unbeaten run by being beaten by the Red Shorts. And moving on in to this game. Inouye, who has really started off well for Eintracht Frankfurt, unable to get on the score sheet there, but Dortmund kept pushing. Piszczek again was the conduit, and the Polish international turned inside here, and a double deflection, absolutely scuppering Kevin Trapp's chances of getting hold of the ball. It's a lovely take by the Polish international right back. Indeed, the Poles for Dortmund have come up with most of the goals. They've been involved in pretty much all of them this season, and Piszczek doing his utmost here. Well, Frankfurt won 4 in a row for the first time at the start of a season, but they were under real pressure early on. Two-0 down. Again, the danger down the right-hand flank. And Marco Reus continuing his fine start for Dortmund with this strike from just outside the area. How many times did Gladbach fans see that last year? Klopp is getting used to seeing it this time around, but it's not all been rosy for the champions. It wasn't that rosy this time of the year last time either. Alexander Meyer scored a hatful of goals in Bundesliga 2 last season, but the big man couldn't quite get his free kick on target. It was an up-and-down game. Frankfurt under pressure for a lot of it. Lewandowski was being well marshalled. But Błaszczykowski got the nod ahead of Mario Götze in this game, unable to beat Trapp with that effort. Royce kept on the pressure for Dortmund, a corner. But the chances came and went. Ivan Perisic missing the latest of them, the Croatian international. Well, Eintracht Frankfurt had won 2 of their previous 3 games against Dortmund, but it was the last match that they lost that had them relegated to Bundesliga 2. But after 4 straight wins, this is a confident side, and they came back into it here in the second half with Stefan Aigner letting rip with that left foot effort. And all those chances in the first half missed by Dortmund came back to bite them at the beginning of the second. Well, Dortmund trailed the Eagles by 5 points ahead of this game. And the Eagles piled on the pressure again. And Inouye at the back post. He scored some great goals, but this one with his head. The Japanese completely unmarked. In fact, there were 2 men at the back post, unattended by Dortmund defenders who, has to be said, all night were being pulled out of position at regular intervals. 2 apiece. But this match was not over yet. By this time, Mario Götze had come on as a substitute, and it didn't take him long to get on the score sheet. Perhaps a little bit upset by being left out of the starting lineup in place of Błaszczykowski, who has been an excellent replacement for him when he was injured and is still carrying on his form into the new season. Götze, though, giving Jurgen Klopp a timely reminder that he is back to form. Well, you would have thought that this would have been it for Dortmund, but there was a 3-3 draw last year against Stuttgart. Götze had another chance to make a 2-goal deficit, but again, another chance came and went. It was a lovely ball that was taken beautifully down by Inouye. It really is turning into the year of the Japanese in the Bundesliga. Well, Weidenfeller just about getting behind that one. Kevin Grosskreutz came on as a substitute, and he too tried to set up his teammate rather than going for a shot himself. And it was Bamber Andersen with a timely interception. Well, I knew he was involved in everything. And as the ball came in, Bamber Andersen rose inside the 6-yard box, and the central defender got the goal that pulled it back to 3-3. Again, you could question the marking, but Eintracht Frankfurt weren't worried about that. Nevertheless, it wasn't all joy for Armin Vey's side, who could have conceded a late goal themselves. Going all the way through was Goetze again. Just couldn't quite dribble it into the net. Kevin Trapp in the way. And Jurgen Klopp in the end having to make do with a draw at the end of this. Eintracht Frankfurt losing their 100% record, but keeping their unbeaten run going at the start of this season, as this one finished 3-3. Let's hear now from a few of the protagonists afterwards, starting with Sebastian Roeder. Well, in the first half, we might have had too much respect for the champions and cup winners, but in the second half, we got over that. I'm sure our fans enjoyed the game, and one could also see that we enjoyed it a lot as well. It turned out to be an amazing match. I want to compliment my team for coming back from 2 goals down against Dortmund, and in the end, I think the draw was deserved. Well, the skipper Permin Schwegler, who came back into the side for this match, agreed. So we knew, of course, that Dortmund had been the best team in the past 2 years, and we really wanted to see where we stood in relation to them. We never gave up, and after a 2-1, we took the advantage. Therefore, into this match, the mix of the players is working well. We have players who have strong personalities, we have players who have got talent, and we have players who simply work for the team. We never give up. Well, Jurgen Klopp said afterwards, we have had a lot of things happen since I came to Dortmund, but such an episode as this, many goals conceded, well, it's never happened before. We are 3rd in goals conceded in the league, and thus far it's quite frankly not a very good statistic. Or he said something else, but you understand what I mean. This is exactly what we have to work on now. The team has awesome potential in attack, but we have to make sure that we're better in defence. We have to focus in the next couple of days on that, and I'm sure that down the road we'll start to play matches in which we concede no goals, or fewer goals at least, and make it tougher for our opponents to score. So once again, we made mistakes today, but Frankfurt couldn't have made better use of the opportunities than they did. Well, Marcel Smeltzer agreed. We definitely disappointed. We played a great first half. We're leading Frankfurt 2-0. We just have to be smarter, like we were in the second half. We have to stop committing as many mistakes, something that was not typical of us, those mistakes that led to goals anyway. Joy then for Armin Vey, the manager of Eintracht Frankfurt. Almost didn't take the job in the summer, but I bet he's glad he changed his mind. Summer show.